Hi everyone, today I'm going to tell you what to expect when you take your BMW M3 or the M4 in its current generation for a 30,000 mile service. I am currently at 29,000 miles and I do my own oil changes, so I really didn't need that service, but the winter is here and I wanted to get some stuff done before the winter, and I had one issue that I needed the dealer to address, and I'm going to tell you what that issue was. But here it goes. This is what to expect when you take your car in for a 30K. So what they did on my car is they performed a standard scope review. So check control messages, check indicator and warning lights, function check of parking brakes. So basically they gave the car a thorough overview to see if everything works as intended, and there was no issues found, so we are good to go. They also replaced the engine oil and topped off all the fluids, including a BMW windshield washer, which I'm very excited about because it smells awesome. They also replaced the air intakes. Now, since I do have an aftermarket intake, they obviously did not perform the service, but if you have stock intakes, they will be replacing the filters and they will give you new intakes as well. The big thing is also they replaced spark plugs, and I have to say the car is running exceptionally better with these spark plugs replaced. I cannot believe how big of a difference it made. The stock spark plugs lasted me 29,000 miles, and obviously I had a couple of track days. I push the car hard sometimes, and you know what, maybe I should have replaced them a lot sooner, but I'm glad they did it because we have something else coming up in store for you, so stay tuned for that. They also flushed the brake fluid and they noted the remaining distance of my pads. Now, the remaining distance is a question mark on my side because I actually disconnected the brake wear sensors and I taped them up to the top, because when I do track days, I typically just put them aside and they don't fit my track pads. But again, they didn't give me any issues about that. They also replaced my windshield wiper blades. I complained that the blades were worn. I actually haven't replaced them in 2 years, ever since I got the car, and they replaced them for me as well. And now the total cost for all this work was, get ready for this, $0, because I am still under warranty. And now, if you had no warranty, I suspect it would cost you a little, maybe close to $2,000, because between the oil changes, the intakes, the spark plugs, which are very labor intensive, windshield wipers and all that stuff, I suspect you'll be close to $2,000. So if you don't have warranty or some sort of a maintenance service, expect to pay something along those lines. Obviously, everything I just mentioned here is extremely easy to do as a DIY, and I've done most of these things on my channel, so you can look them up. I haven't done the spark plugs, but I'll be doing those soon. I think we'll be upgrading them, so stay tuned for that. But again, you can save a lot of money if you do it yourself, but I'm very thankful that I have some warranty remaining, because I don't have to worry about it, and I got some parts for free. Now, there are two things that I asked the dealer to do for me, things that I cannot do myself. First thing I did was I asked them to perform an alignment, because I actually love the way the dealer does the alignment. I took my car to another shop, as you recall, a couple of months ago, and the alignment got all screwed up. So I wanted the dealer to get it redone, but they couldn't perform an alignment due to vehicle being too low and having side spoilers. Vehicle being too low, I guess it cannot get on the machine, but having side spoilers? I don't know. I think maybe what they meant by that is the car was maybe too low in the front with the front lip, so they couldn't get it up on the machine. But I asked for a wheel alignment and they could not get it done. The person who was in charge of my car called me. Obviously, he was very apologetic about it. No hard feelings, and I understand. I'm very, very low, and maybe they didn't want to damage my car. So I will have to take it to a shop that specializes in aligning lowered cars. If you know of any shops like that, any dependable shops in Middle and South Jersey, let me know, and I'll go and check them out. And then the last thing that I needed done, and I knew it wasn't going to be covered under warranty because it's a wear and tear item, but my seat was bothering me. Not necessarily the fit of it, but the finish. My bolster was actually wearing out, and I just told the dealer to go ahead and replace it. Now I have a brand new seat top, and I will be very, very careful in the next few years when I get in and out. The reason why the bolster was wearing out is because I think I was very careful when I got in the car, but getting out, I wasn't really paying attention. Technically, you're supposed to get yourself scooped in and out of the car, away from that bolster. I was just, on my way out, I would just slide out, and that put a lot of unnecessary stress on that bolster. But they did that for me, and they did an excellent job, except there's a little crease over here that I might, I wonder if this is something that'll eventually work itself in, or maybe I'll just have to bring it back. But again, the leather, obviously it's brand new leather. I'm very, very happy with it. And I am going to be very, very, very careful next time. While I was there, the dealer gave me a loaner, and that loaner was a 2020 G20 BMW 330i X-Drive. And I've got to say, that gave me a glimpse of what to expect with the new BMW M3 and the M4 that's scheduled to come out in the next year and a half or so. And for the most part, I wasn't very impressed. I'm not gonna lie. While the interior of the car was pretty, in my mind, it wasn't mind-blowing. Yes, things looked a lot different. You had a very pretty steering wheel. It was an M Sport steering wheel with a button layout that's different. There's nothing wrong with my current button layout, but the G20 button layout was just different. It was flatter. The digital screen in front of me was actually nice, but the steering wheel blocked the top of it. Any way I positioned the steering wheel to be comfortable while I drove, it just blocked the top. Now the center console obviously was okay. The screen is bigger, and it was a touch screen. It was running the latest version of iDrive, and I was actually very surprised with the direction they went, because it kind of reminded me of iDrive 4.0 with the little icons on the left hand side and whatever's happening on the right hand side. And down below were these tiny buttons. I just think the buttons overall were too small and too cumbersome. Again, it's different from what I currently have, but is it better different? I don't know. The screen was closer to me, so I could actually touch it, and the touchscreen function was great. But again, I don't think it's anything mind-blowing, and in my mind, the interior was kind of boring. But at night, with the interior lighting on, the interior actually was kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. The best 3 features of that car, I have to say, were the following, in no particular order. They finally put memory seat buttons on the door, which is a very, very nice thing. The headlights were absolutely amazing at night. And I have to say, the acceleration of that 4-cylinder with its 8-speed transmission was pretty amazing. 255 horsepower and I think 295 pound-feet of torque. It was mind-blowing how fast that car was compared to all the 4-cylinders that I remember driving years ago. Now, the price of that car that I had was about $57,000 with all the options. And when you think about it, I don't think it's worth it. I have a feeling that the M3 and the M4 is going to be a lot more expensive than that. Actually, I know it's going to be a lot more expensive than that. And I just don't think it's going to be worth it. I'm still sort of debating with whether or not I'll jump ship or not. Chances are, now that I think about it, maybe not. Because when I look at the value proposition of the new generation G20 and in the future the G80, when you look at a car like Tesla, for a lot less money, yes, you get interior that's not as crazy. But guess what? The G20 interior isn't crazy either. But you get a lot more performance, and you get these tech features that are a lot more innovative compared to what you get with this car. So anyways, that's just my thoughts. Let me know if you have any experience with 2 cars, and if you think whatever I just said made sense or not. I hope this video was somewhat informative. Let me know in general what you thought of it, and maybe give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.